Oh, hi. How's it going? Presumably pretty well because it's a holiday, so hopefully you don't have to work and can just chill out at home with family or, well, I was going to say or friends. Depends a little bit on lockdown and such, but hopefully at least you don't have to deal with a bunch of work and stress and whatnot. Doggos in the background. I don't know if you can see them. Maybe. Yeah, I'm easily distracted, and I know some of you are too. So anytime something moves in the background, it's going to attract attention. Alrighty. Good morning, and hope you're having a chill day so far. Thanks, and same to you. Thought it said 2 minutes? Yes, it did. I like to start a little early. Just because. I mean, it really started with somebody complaining that I'm late whenever I was right on time. So, yeah, there you go. Thanks, Kitex Music. Will you ever do a historical analysis of Vinland Saga, the anime? I don't know, probably not. I mean, a lot of people have asked me about it, but um, the ones that people I've talked to who have actually watched it were kind of like, yeah, it's pretty good. It's more realistic and accurate than you would generally expect from anime, but it's still kind of standard anime in terms of storytelling and whatnot. A lot of tropes. So, yeah. I'll be back in 30 minutes or so. Gotta shower and get some food. How dare you? You stay right here. No, you do your thing. You go shower and nom and whatnot. Being early is just as rude as being late. Yes, that's true. If you arrive early to an appointment that you made with somebody else, then yeah. I mean, I feel like not really. I was gonna say maybe 5 minutes early is okay. Nah, I mean, you can arrive early, and then just wait to actually meet them. You know what I mean? Um, but in this case, I just arbitrarily set a time, and I can show up whenever the hell I want. That's how it goes. Still feeling sick? No, not anymore. Fortunately, that sucked. Um, so now I'm working on catching up after having lost the time when I felt like garbage. I still don't know. I still don't know what was going on with that, but it's hard to say because individual symptoms can be caused by like 50,000 different things, So yeah. What can y'all do? Have you ever thought about covering the weapons and tactics used by the Hussites during the Hussite Wars? I mean, I made a Hussite flail a while ago, but otherwise, I haven't really specifically looked into that. But hey, I might in the future. You never know. It just depends. What does it depend on? Things and stuff. It's like there's a long ass list of to-dos that I have, and it's just I have to be in a certain mindset for some things. Like, for example, over analyzing fantasy stuff. It requires a certain kind of mood and mindset, you know? And if I force it, it tends to just not turn out so well. I'm I'm going to sync with the videos that you bring your firearms with you during your move to our lovely maritime coast. I brought one. I actually sold most. Just to wait. I'm trying to think. Did I sell something after the move? I can't even keep it apart anymore. But yeah, I think I sold almost everything before the move, and yeah. So I kept one antique revolver, and I still don't really have a spot that I like for shooting. I mean, a sense of spot. I can't go out in the bush to shoot the way I could in BC, unfortunately. NS is a little different with the regulations. And I haven't found a gun club yet that I like. So, I don't know yet. Weird comment, but being someone who did the cross-Canada trip myself twice, ouch. And having lived on both Vancouver Island and Halifax, I really enjoy these videos. Thank you. Twice. I honestly would not want to repeat that. I mean, I have mixed feelings about it, let's put it that way, because I also have kind of, like, there's cool memories from it. It's one of those things that you don't forget, you know? Driving across all of Canada, like, it's a bit of an endeavor, you know? And that's how you make memories. You don't make memories by doing everyday shit. You know, it's the special things, the different things. I mean, at least that's how I roll. Have you... Wait, what was it? Have you contemplated doing a collab with Metatron where you guys do sparring? That would be pretty cool, but that's not going to happen anytime soon because borders are still closed, and you know he's in Italy, I'm in Canada, so it's not exactly around the corner. Thanks, Sarko. Good to catch Skull Stream with morning coffee at 3 p.m. Would like to hear what do you think about Dawn Guard crossbow from Skyrim. Have a nice day. Thank you. I forgot what it looks like. I mean, I've never actually played Dawn Guard, funnily enough. I didn't get the DLC. At that time, I was already kind of done with Skyrim. Had already played it to death. Looks nice. I like how they look. And I'm not seeing anything super insane. It's like a double prod crossbow, which I've seen before, made in real life. Huh. There's even one, this might be a mod. There's one with cams. So like a compound crossbow. That look pretty good. No crazy Daedric stuff, at least as far as I'm seeing. I also can't tell which of these are mods and which are, you know, vanilla screenshots. So, don't you want to visit Italy anytime soon? I definitely want to go on a trip to Europe. There's definitely a number of places that I would like to visit that I never went to. Italy, I tend to stay away from the hot places, you know? I mean, in winter it's probably fine, but hot climate kills me, so it's not necessarily high on the list, but I might eventually. Long-time fan, much love, Skull and Family. I've been laughing about the... Wow, autocorrect really screwed you over. Apparently, Pumbletro defense. At least I'm assuming that's autocorrect. since we made the video. Yes, the pommel throw, of course. End them rightly. It's not really a defense necessarily. It's more of a kind of a surprise attack. Anyway, thank you, Narcissus. Narcissus Machiavelli. I see what what you did there. Good old Machiavellianism, huh? Oh yes, summer bugs, sweaty back, yeah, yeah. Right now it's very April-like here. You know, it's been just downpour. Today is actually not super crazy, but yesterday was just deluge. But yeah, I'm not like, I'm glad that winter is over because toward the end of winter I get really sick and tired of all the snow and ice. But I'm not looking forward to summer. I can't say I am. Bugs, heat, sweat. Oh well. You're very charming. Well, thank you. I'm sure you're charming too. My chickpeas boiled dry. Damn. Did I distract you from your chickpeas? I'm sorry. I mean, sometimes when you're boiling beans or other legumes, sometimes if you get them kind of, if they stick to the bottom, as long as you have a no stick pot or pan or whatever, you can scrape it off easily. It's actually kind of that burned, well, not really burned layer. As long as it's not black, let's put it that way. As long as it's just kind of brown, it's actually tastes kind of good, at least to me. Because it has a little bit of crunch, you know? Wow, I'm extra rambly today. Well, it's a stream. What do you expect? I can crack you in a sword fight. The talkers are always the ones with the most skill. It is known. I mean, quite frankly, right now you might, because I'm a pretty shitty shape. So, shape isn't everything. You know, if you're just fit without technique, then you're probably still screwed. But yeah. But just don't talk. Don't talk. Show, don't talk. That's bad. And what's the saying is different. It's not show, don't talk. It's show, don't tell. No, that's something else. Anyway, you know what I mean. You know what I'm talking about. I'm joking. Okay, yeah, you are, but some people aren't. I've seen that kind of stuff before. Where someone's like, I could totally trash you. Like, you're shit. I'm awesome. I'm a sword master. Yeah, of course you are behind your screen. Of course you are. Show, don't tell. So that is how it's said, isn't it? I was just thinking like, oh, okay, yeah, it is show, don't tell. I was confusing it with don't ask, don't tell, which is a little different. Anyway. Talk is cheap. Yeah, that's the other saying. Show, don't tell, but it's script writing for movies. Yeah. Oh well. Long ago, you talked about the flaws of and improving Conan's Atlantean sword. The original idea for the sword is that a giant could wield it in one hand. Does it change your take? I honestly don't know exactly what I said because it's a while ago. My current take is, obviously, if you're strong enough, you can use it. It's not the issue. It's just like, my point wasn't that it's impossible or anything. I mean, clearly Arnie was wielding that thing, which was, I think, was the actual steel sword. I don't think it was like a plastic prop or anything. The thing is more, it's not optimized, because the thing is, it's a pretty short sword for two-handed use, because it's a really short blade, and the handle is not terribly long either. So it's arguably a hand and a half sword, but either way, it benefits from not being super heavy. If you have somebody like the Mountain, then yeah, hell yeah, he can use it with one hand. Sure. It does depend on the individual. You can still say that they could use a lighter sword more effectively, faster, but there's a limit to it, because with a certain amount of strength, going below a certain weight isn't really going to benefit you. It's already so light that you can easily handle it. So yeah, you should, for a taller, stronger person, it makes sense to upscale the weight. And if you look at what's his name again, Grote Pierre, the huge sword fighter in history, who had a gigantic two-handed sword that would be way too large for everybody else, because he was supposedly well over 2 meters, according to the stories at least. And that makes sense. Anyway, they're only steel and dwarven crossbows, and if I'm not wrong, they're kind of repeating crossbows. All right. Yeah, I haven't actually seen them in action. I can only go by the screenshots. You won $5? I think you won $5. Have a good day. Yes, thank you, Connor. I do appreciate them $5. And you have a good one too. Thanks, Nick. Do you like green weapons? Like all green? I definitely like green handles. I have them on some of my swords. The entire thing green, like including blade, I'm not sure about that, but yeah, green is my favorite color. So I don't know anything about wielding swords, but a machete and hatchet, I almost feel naked without. That's what most people would be accustomed to nowadays, because of course axes and machetes are very common tools. Do you like Greek weapons in general? I guess. I mean, it depends on which ones. I can't really think of any Greek weapon that I dislike on top of my head, so I guess the answer is yes. Oh my. Good morning, Skal. You will be my company during my run this morning. Nice. I shall pay you for your services. Thank you, Kyle, and good morning to you as well. Good that you're out exercising. I should be doing that too. I mean, I might later today, even though the weather is shit. I'm probably just going to do a home workout. But not yet. You are a great dude. What makes you say that? You don't know. You don't know when I turn into Mr. Hyde. No, I mean, I try not to be an asshole, but sometimes I am. Sometimes, everybody is sometimes. We're human, so what can you do? That's an interesting one. If you could decide what the next Total War game would be, what would you theme it around? Bronze Age would be cool. The problem is, it would be hard to do because it's just there aren't as many sources about the Bronze Age as there are about later periods. So the earlier you go back in history, the harder it is to do it right, or the less there is to work with. But I mean, even if they go a little bit fantasy, to fill in the gaps, that could still be interesting. In fact, well, Neolithic time would be even more difficult. That's where you start to see. I'm not sure you can call it warfare yet. In the Bronze Age, you definitely have what you could call warfare. In Neolithic times, you have raids and such. It's not really large-scale warfare, as far as we can tell, but yeah, something like that. You know what? It would also be cool to see Viking 2 Total War. That'd be kind of neat. Thank you, Little Beastly 101. Imagine a Bronze Age Red Dead Redemption. Yes. You're just robbing people of their armbands and stuff. My favorite weapon is a nice rock. I mean, you definitely don't suffer from a shortage of weapons if that's what you like. Thanks, Nick. It's yeah, the good old rock and the good old club. Basically just a big piece of wood. If you got wood, you got club. They're twerks, yes, indeed. I don't remember Total War as a Viking themed one. There was, it was an expansion to the first medieval Total War. There was the Viking expansion, which was pretty good for its time. How about the Native Americans Total War? Well, wasn't that part of... Which one was it again? There was a Total War set in the Age of Exploration, basically. Which one was it? Or was it a mod? Was it an expansion? I remember nothing. What is my problem? I remember nothing. Empire, yes. Yeah. Empire, Total War. That's the one. What if, and hear me out, someone puts a rock on a club? Now that would be a weapon. Yeah, they did, actually. They had clubs with, they're like disc clubs, with ground wooden, not wooden, disc-shaped rocks, basically. That existed, and there are some other clubs that actually have a rock mounted to them. So yeah, 'tis a thing. I think you'd love Ghost of Tsushima on PS4. I might. I don't have it, so. But thank you, Little Beastly 101. Pre-Columbian Native American Total War would be better, though. That would be, yeah, Aztec Total War. That would be kind of cool. But again, that's... What in the fuck is even going on right now? I don't know if you heard that, but this is suddenly some ruckus out there. I don't know what the hell. What was I saying? Yeah. So again, it's not as easy to do as some other stuff with sources. I feel like you could probably do a pretty good India Total War, because they had a large empire, and I think there is a pretty good wealth of sources, I believe. Siren Head, yes. What? Yes, what indeed. Rocks on clubs, basically early access. Not necessarily. There were the axes are distinguishable from the clubs. I mean, even hand axes, they have an edge, a crude one. I mean, depending on how far you go back, but you can still tell the difference. Total War Dark Age, yeah, Total War Migration Era. Wait, wasn't there also an expansion? Right. There was Total War Attila, which was an expansion to Rome 2, right? In a dual world, what would be your ideal concealed weapon and what would it be disguised as? Thanks, Nightsworn. That's a good question, too. Well, you just said weapons, so I'm going to go with firearm. Just going to go with a pistol. You can conceal them. They're effective. Done. If you don't want firearms, then honestly, I would just default to the good old sword cane. It works. Why not? Why not sword cane? Do you like the Italian Fioretto? I can't say I know what that is. Unless I'm just not familiar with the term. Let me just... Oh, okay. It's an épée. Well, I'm not really into Olympic fencing, so épées are not really my thing. The closest you'll get me is a small sword, which I'm not, I mean, I was going to say I'm not a big fan of, but I like them for what they are. Let's put it that way. For the intended purpose, they are designed well for what, for how they were used. So, yeah. Sword cane is illegal where? Not in Canada. I mean, if you carry one and a police officer notices that you have it and asks you why you have it, and you ask it's for self-defense, you're in trouble. Which is ridiculous and unreasonable, but that's the law, unfortunately. What can you do? What can you do besides overthrow the government? Yeah, because revolutions have never replaced one oppressive regime with another. But I mean, sometimes they did good in the long run. But maybe let's not talk about stuff like that. Just saying. I envy your fat tire bike. As a mountain biker myself, I've always wanted a fat tire bike. There's some great trails to ride in Canada. Yep. Indeed. They've become pretty common. I keep seeing them here. They are not rare. And I definitely like them. I mean, there's something about the extra grip you get from the huge tires and also the absorption. Like, there's the one that I have doesn't even have suspension on the frame, but it really doesn't need to. Like, just the tires do so much to absorb. Impact is not really the right word for a bike. Shock? Yeah. What non-firearm would be best used in a home defense? Taking into account limited space due to hallways, etc. I'm just going to refer you to my video about that because I've made at least one about it. There's one about swords for home defense. I think I talked about other things as well in that same video about other weapons, I believe. Well, sort of. I talked about a sword against a bat or maglite or crowbar. Then I talked about a good sword for home defense, and then more thoughts about home defense. So there's 3 videos about the topic, so just gonna refer you to that. Anyway, thanks, Kyle. I like spears. I like turtles. That meme is really ancient by now, isn't it? The I like turtles kid. How did the Crusaders lose Jerusalem? Oh my goodness, Jerusalem. Words are hard. Well, you'd have to ask a historian for the details. I listened to a lecture about the Crusades at one point, so bear with me. My memory is not fantastic on that. But the thing is, they had ups and downs. They had some success with some of the Crusades, and some failed horrendously for a number of reasons. Usually, the main problem was supplies. Because don't forget, it's a bit of a distance to get all the way over there on foot. And the problem was also that these were not big, what's the word, campaigns orchestrated by an entire country or a kingdom or what have you. These were really just, you can't call them mercenaries because they didn't set out to do it for money as such, but it was kind of local leaders and it was not as coordinated. So eventually they would run into supply issues because they didn't have well-organized supply lines all the way through. So they relied on the locals to help them. When they arrived, they had to rely on pillaging, basically plundering and pillaging, to supply themselves. And that's really the main issue. And there was no direct supply line that was actually supported by rulers who had all the resources. So that's really the main issue. Whereas locally, the defense could be organized effectively. And yeah, in some cases, the climate and geography also screwed them over, of course. You ever listened to Sabaton? Yes. Yes, I do. I mean, I haven't in a while, but I did. Crossbows becoming very high-tech lately. I mean, not so lately. It's been going on for a while, the development. Unless you're talking about something that I'm not aware of, like another new innovation lately. I mean, Jörg has been up to some things, I know. Not sure if lately, but he came up with some interesting designs. You're gonna rip the bong and watch the Chauvin trials? For the 50th time, I don't smoke weed, bruh. And no, I'm not gonna watch that. Do you like sex? Who doesn't? Okay, the asexuals. Fair enough, but... Duh. Why did you decide to become a YouTuber? To share my passions and hobbies the way, I still do. I mean, now it's on a more professional level. Professional, But yeah, that's how it started out. I mean, I saw videos of people doing stuff with swords and cutting and reviews and stuff. And I was like, hey, that's cool. That's the kind of stuff that I like, that I'm interested in. Let me do the same. Earlier in uh, I don't want to say YouTube career, but earlier in the history of my channel, I also used to do more personal stuff. Like vlogs and even political discussions. Yeah, I used to even do political videos here and there and philosophical stuff and all of this and that and the other. That, yeah, just people just don't give a shit about now with this kind of audience. So, yeah, that's rare now. Personal stuff was fun. Yeah, I agree. I agree, but it just doesn't seem like a good idea to do regularly anymore. Thanks, Ovidio. What do you think you would have done for a living if you didn't have a YouTube career? I mean, I did some odd jobs here and there. Like, for a while, I worked in a store that sold swords and airsoft guns and, some fantasy decorations and a bunch of other stuff. For a time, I did a soul-sucking data entry job, which I would never ever want to do again. So, yeah, I don't know, stuff like that. But the thing is, I don't know really. I mean, I doubt I would have ever really done something that my education is directly relevant for, because cultural anthropology is just not as much in demand, which I knew going into it. It's just I didn't want to do something that's just that I knew I would hate, you know. And yeah, then I ended up with a data entry job for a while, which I did hate. So what can you do? So who knows? In short, basically. Who remembers vids from the knife shop? OGs only. Oh yeah. Have you seen those? Those are old. 2012, 2013. Early 2013. Tis been a while. Have you watched Escape the Night? No, I don't know what that is. Morning Star for home defense. Would not recommend. You'd probably wreck your stuff. You know what? I kind of sitting a little too tall. So let me just be a little pedantic and do a minor adjustment, just because I fucking can. Subscribe to the Knife Shop Days. Yay! Yeah, you're one of the OG crew. I mean, OG crew would be even before that. I don't know if anybody is still around from the 2007 to 2010 era. I don't know. Our sparring. Oh, axe sparring sounds dangerous. Yeah, it is. It's hard to make a sparring axe that's actually safe, that doesn't still knock the living shit out of people. Even through a fencing mask, they just hit very hard. That's the nature of an axe. Thanks, Kitex Music. Have you heard of Elden Ring? It's a video game being developed which is based on the Game of Thrones series. Can't say I have, so can't tell you anything about that. What is your favorite mythical Norse weapon, like Mjolnir, Gungnir, etc.? Gungnir, I mean, it's a spear. How can you go wrong with that? It's Odin's frickin' spear. How can you possibly go wrong with that? At the same time, there's also damn it, what is Sigurd's sword called again? It's Balmung in the Germanic version, where it's Siegfried. I'm thinking of Sigurd. His sword was named something else. I'm pretty sure. I'm just trying to remember. Let me see here. Gram. Yes. Yeah. He killed Fafnir with Gram. There we are. So that will be a good one too. I vaguely remember a zombie survival guide review from that time. Oh, you're right. Yes. That happened then. Damn, Kyle, you've really been... You're one of the elder gods here among the subscribers. That's pretty cool. A god among subscribers. Please do more stuff on ancient weapons and warfare, like Stone Age, Bronze Age. It would be interesting, yeah. As said, unfortunately, there aren't as many sources, so it's harder to research, but interesting for sure. Thanks, biological penguin. Why not a mechanical penguin or a cyber penguin? Anyway, good day, Skull. Good day to you too. What was the fictional / mythical weapon that you found interesting, but which you had to most suspend disbelief for? I'm pretty sure there were things. I just need to remember them. I'm vaguely remembering something that has some sort of folding mechanism. I mean, the sword in Dishonored is kind of interesting. Like, I've seen slow-mo footage of that, of how it's being deployed, and it doesn't really look possible. It looks like they're kind of cheating it. But there's also some stuff there's some pretty cool stuff in Monster Hunter where you have, the transforming weapons. Sometimes they go a little too far, but that's really where, yeah, I would have to say a lot of Monster Hunter weapons where they are cool and interesting, but yeah, you have to suspend a ton of disbelief, that's for sure. But it's pretty cool, like a weapon that transforms from one type into another type, and yeah, there's some stuff in Bloodborne and that, and trick weapons that falls in that category too. For all knife enthusiasts, what kind is most often on you? No assisted opening, I assume. Yeah, so that's a question for you, chat, and for me as well. Can I get it right now? Not without bonking the microphone. No, I can't even reach it. Okay, don't be a lazy bum. I'm just gonna get up here. Oh shit! I'm destroying everything right now. That's what I'm doing. Oh boy! What fell down? What is where goes? What does? Oh, there. Another knife. Yay. This one. I like that. I need to clean it, damn it. The M390 by... God damn it. Was a Russian maker. Victor something? I'm probably just reaching. Let me look it up real quick. I can't even remember my own stuff. That's how borderline Alzheimer's I am. Where is it? Cheburkov. What was his first name? Cheburkov knives, yes, but where is he? Alexander Cheburkov? Yes, Alexander Ivanovich Cheburkov. There we go. Just had to get that right. Skull's groans are the most cartoony groans I've heard IRL. Okay. I don't know how so, but just your ADHD memory. Yeah, unfortunately, very much so. Hate that. Yeah. So yeah, what's the chat saying actually? What knives you like? What knives you get, bro? Oh, actually, pull that back over here. What knives you get, bro? Nothing? Bowie knife. Fair enough. Okay, I guess that's all we got. I've been watching you since like 2014. First time ever commenting. Well, that's a long time. 7 years. Fortunately, I talk a little better now than I used to then. It's just everything needs practice. You know, the longer you do something, the better it is. And coherently forming sentences, especially with ADHD, that's something that requires quite a bit of practice. So just keep babbling, basically. And try to be coherent. Which I'm not always. Understatement. I carry a great sword day to day. I'm sure you do. Some days when I'm going downtown, I take a lance and ride my cavalry horse. Good for you, buddy. I'm not like these fakers. What fakers? Me and Ian have only been with you for 6 months, but oh boy, they've been fun. We've watched 85% of all your videos, the best 85%. Not like these fakers, huh? Claiming 85%, I highly doubt it. Let me check that real quick. I'm just gonna grill you on that, because I don't know the exact number, but I know it's over 1,200 videos. I might be at like 1,400. I don't know why YouTube doesn't tell me anymore how many videos I've uploaded, but let's just be conservative about it and say 1,200. That would mean you would have watched 1,020 videos in 6 months. Divided by 6, divided by 4. That's 166 videos per week. That's... I'm really going to be anal about this, just for fun. That's 23 videos a day. Have you been watching 23 videos per day for the past 6 months? I don't believe that. But thank you anyway. I just had to roast you on that. That's too funny. I've been watching for 10 plus years and I'm not at 85%, I think. You, hell no. There's no way. There's no way you're at actually 85%. No way. But it's fun to think about, you know? It's pretty fun. Now, to be fair, I'm being overly anal here. Because you're probably saying you've been watching 85% of the videos that were published during those 6 months. Which, yeah, I can believe that. That's good. But I just had to be extra anal and interpret it as 85% of all videos. Are you caffeinated? I wouldn't be this mentally present if I wasn't. I'm gonna tell you that. I wouldn't be talking this fast. I wouldn't be this there upstairs if I wasn't. Unfortunately. Oh, well. Wait. I wasn't even being extra anal. You literally said 85% of all your videos. Ha. Gotcha. It's fun to be extra anal sometimes. Just because. What? Thoughts on javelin boomerang? My thought is no. You can have one or the other. You can't have both. Not in the same thing. Not in the same object. Do you have a preferred coffee brand and/or shop? No, I'm not a hipster like that. I just drink whatever. I mean, not whatever, but I tend to get those large cans of, what's it called again? Oh, I think it's just President's Choice something. Yeah, the Great Canadian. President's Choice, the Great Canadian. Light to medium roast coffee. Not because that's the best shit ever. Honestly, I don't really see that much or taste that much difference. Like, I have a suspicion that people who do talk about all the little nuances, like, oh, this is light, this has a nutty flavor to it, it has like earthy undertones, it's got like a certain sweetness, blah blah blah. I have a feeling they're full of shit, quite frankly, because wine connoisseurs have literally been debunked. They've done tests, blind tests, where they literally gave them some cheap ass bagged wine and they couldn't tell the difference. So I have a feeling it's similar with coffee. Now, there is a difference between light and dark roast. Dark roast tastes different, yes. To me, dark roast tastes better, but apparently light roast has more health benefits because you get more antioxidants. It might not have been antioxidants. It might have been something else. Something beneficial in there that gets destroyed from over roasting, if you know what I mean. Anyway. I saw somebody's story once where they put their ear up to the glass and convinced the wine connoisseurs to listen to the wine. For real? Holy shit. Oh boy. Dark Roasts Prepare to Stream Edition. Mm-hmm. It is antioxidants. Okay. Yeah, yeah. Then I did remember correctly. I don't want to talk out of my ass. So if I'm not 100% sure that I'm remembering correctly, I'd rather call it off, you know? I'm probably a little too overly cautious about that, but, you know. Flavonoids, yes. Indeed. Do you still play Fistful of Frags? I remember you made some videos about it back in the day, and it's been improved / updated a lot since then. Thanks, the manager. I haven't played Fistful of Frags in a while, so I don't know. I believe Dark Roast can elevate low quality beans to an acceptable base level, but destroy the nuanced flavors you get from light roasts. Yeah, fair enough. Dark Roast is just kind of more dominant. It just kind of kicks you more in the face with the flavor, which can be great for lattes and stuff, cappuccinos, etc. Ninjas didn't exist. That's what they wanted you to think. Huh? I mean, you're right. Hollywood ninjas in the sense, yeah, definitely. When you come to visit Scotland, I think your weed virginity needs taken. Always the preachy potheads. No, it ain't happening. There's a reason why I stick to caffeine. My brain needs stimulants. I can't be, I can't have anything that has a depressing effect on the nervous system because that fucks me over, quite frankly. So ain't happening. Also, it stinks. It really reeks. Would never ever want to draw that through my lungs. If you enjoy that, good for you, but no, not for me. Hell no. Whoa. I'm bonking things. Let's see what else we get here. Do the smoky just one time. No, get out of here. That's what I mean by preachy potheads. Like, it's okay if you do it, but stop trying to force it on others. Stop trying to persuade people. No, bro, you really gotta. It's the miracle weed. This plant cures cancer. It'll fix everything in your life. You gotta try it. No, I ain't gotta try it. Calm down. Calm down. You can do it yourself, but not everybody else around you needs to as well. And Meridote is the only martial art. Yes, you're right. 100%. Master Ken will kick your ass. I smoked non-stop for 4 years, and today is day 81 without it. I'm in a much better state now. I've heard that a number of times from people who quit and who are glad that they did. Pot smokers are like vegans, they never shut up. Quite frankly, vegans are not usually that... are not actually talking about it as much. The stereotypical vegan on the internet is, it's a stereotype. Most people aren't like that. I've actually encountered more people preaching to me about eating meat and about smoking weed than about being vegan. That's all I can tell you. Someone from the Middle Ages could time travel to our times. Would he comprehend this world or go nuts? Would be extremely confused. It depends on the individual. Some might take it better than others. Some might just totally freak out. Others might just try to understand what the hell's going on, but it would be difficult. Because there are a lot of really confusing things to someone from that time. Do whatever you want as long as it doesn't hurt others. Yeah, it's simple. We go crazy and shoot a crappy sword to pieces with guns. I've done that. I've already done that. It was actually a 1 million subscriber special. Oh, wait. Maybe the special was the one where I split a bullet on the edge of a sword. The one where I shot it in half. That might have been another one. But yeah, I've done both, so yeah. Skull went crazy long ago. That's assuming I was ever sane. You're assuming a bit much there, buddy. Now, I'm not even talking about the Reaver Cleaver. I'm talking about a cheapo katana that somebody sent me to destroy. Not the one that I hacked hacked to pieces with various other swords, but the one that I actually shot in half. Sane and normal people scare me. That's a good statement. Home defense with a brown bess. It's a little bit long, especially since you would also want a bayonet on there. Otherwise, you just have one shot. That's it. So that would be a little bit unwieldy. Stylish, though. What are your thoughts on Frostpunk? Oh, you're relaying a comment from someone else. Oh, thank you, Jake. I've seen it, but I don't really have specific thoughts and feelings about it. I know that it's a post-apocalyptic city builder kind of deal, but that's about all I can tell you. I don't really know. I blast a fool with a musket, that'd be totally rad. It would. A shotgun is quite long for home defense. Depends on which one. I mean, if you're going with an 18-inch shotgun with you know, with extendable stock, or even with a pistol grip if you're in for that kind of hand abuse. Any good sword maker website that ships internationally? Yeah, Cult of Athena does. KSG Celtex beg to differ. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the Celtec KSG, the other way around. Begs to differ. Indeed, it does. How shitty would a sawed-off blunderbuss be? I mean, if you saw it off, then you don't even have that that bell-shaped muzzle. So you're sort of reducing the spread, but at the same time, by shortening it, you're also increasing it slightly. So I think that would just be pointless. In short. What about a gun that shoots swords for home defense? Well, the closest you can get is a shotgun with flechette ammo. Because then you have a bunch of little, not swords, but little spikes. Pointy sticks. Could a pistol really be effective as clubs when out of ammo? I actually made a video about that. I forgot what it was called exactly, but if you search pistol, it should show up. I honestly don't remember exactly what I titled it, but I did one where I discussed using a pistol versus sword, I think it was, actually. Thank you, Christopher. That's very generous of you. Your old videos contain some really damn awesome music. Kind of sound like prog. Mind dropping some of your go-to bands / artists? In the older videos, actually what I mainly used was video game remixes. So I used to get them from Dwelling of Duels is one website, and the other is ocremix.org, I think. They have a bunch of video game remixes. A lot of cool stuff. Have you watched Godzilla vs. Kong? If you haven't, who are you voting? I have not. I'm sure they pulled some nonsense to upgrade Kong. It's a little bit ridiculous. I can't imagine how we could possibly have a chance against Godzilla, but I'm sure they finagled something. Empty Gun versus Sword is the title. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, monkey. On the one hand, you have a nuclear powered dinosaur, basically. On the other hand, you have monkey. Oh boy. Why do you change your logo into a Viking groundhog? It's a beaver, actually. It's been Canadianized. It came up during a live stream, and I was just joking about turning it into a beaver to make it more Canadian, and then Nayot was like, oh yeah, I'll draw that. So she did, and I used it, and why the hell not? Why doesn't the entire internet simp for you? Because I'm not a hot chick with Big titties and ass. Could have something to do with that. Could a modified version of the Warglaives from World of Warcraft work in real life? Yeah, a modified one, sure. I mean, like I pointed out in that video about historical weapons that look like fantasy, it's clearly based on a real weapon. There's some weird shit going on outside again. I don't know what the hell's going on, but I mean, there's always something here. This place is just noisy. There's always something happening. There's always some kind of noise. What can you do? Yeah, OnlyFans and all that. Just sirens all day. What the? What are people doing? No. I was just starting to read, and then I realized it's a troll comment, so we're not talking about that. Katana memes and all. Did you ever play Deadliest Warrior on Xbox? I didn't. I don't even have an Xbox. How do I get people to like me? Treat them well. Be kind. That should help. And try not to be fake. Be honest with people. That helps too. What happened to the Eye of the Fishy Abyss? I gave it away as a kind of a surprise, you know, a little surprise meme gift, so to speak. It's not a troll comment. It would be a brotherly battle, friendly sparring session. I don't know what you're talking about. I probably didn't see your previous comment. I don't know. What sparring? I mean, none of that would work anyway with, you know, borders closed and locked down and everything, but you ever going to review a gun again? Hopefully. That's what I'm thinking. Not planned so far, but what happened to the weird knife series? I kind of ran out of weird knives. At least ones that are weird enough to include in that. Recently cloned Dodo. Thank you. That's right. I remember you've been on a live stream before, and I already found the name funny. Then, if you play Skyrim, are you Stormcloak or Imperial? I'm trying to remember. Which one did I actually? I think I like grudgingly went Imperial, because both sides are shit. Quite frankly, they're both really not worth supporting. But oh well, you have to choose, right? Thanks, Backslash. Are you a fan of power metal, and have you heard of the band Beast in Black? If you like powerful vocals, check out Yanis's cover Ghost Love Score. I do like power metal to an extent, although it gets a little old, I have to say, because a lot of bands sound the same, to me, at least. I have not heard of Beast in Black, so I don't know. Any thoughts of the Swiss longsword on Kult of Athena? I'm not sure which one that is. I mean, if you're talking, well, Swiss longswords, probably not. You're probably not talking Swiss sabers. I really like Swiss sabers, but Swiss longsword. There it is. Who makes that even? Because the one that I'm seeing here right now that's just listed as Swiss longsword is very suspiciously cheap and doesn't have a maker. At least it's not mentioned. It's not that I can see, so I'd be very careful about that. Ulfric is a racist and Tullius is an anti-religious freedom. You pick which you hate less. Yeah, that's the problem. It's also kind of weird. You know, the Imperials are clearly based on Romans, and the Romans actually were pretty tolerant. I mean, as long as you followed their laws, you could have whatever religion you want. So it's kind of weird that they turned it into, Imperials being kind of oppressive about the occupants' religion, if you will. Viking metal implies the existence of Viking country. Haven't thought of it that way, but Viking country would be. What would it be? Sirens again? Like, it's just. Things are just going to shit nowadays. Not nowadays. Well, that too, but today I was trying to say. Back in my day. Not a panther. Thank you. I was thinking of buying a sword this year, and I'm looking at the VA-122 from Valiant Armory. There's a 1060 version for 710 euros and one made of 5160 for 1295. Which one would be the better option? 5160 is going to be the tank option. You know, if you want to do hard cutting with it, then the 5160 is worth it, but it's quite a bit extra money. So unless you're planning to do some hard cutting, and I mean worse than just tatami. If you just want to cut tatami mats, then 1060 is fine. Thank you, Jimmy Spits Up the World. Finally back from deployment. Good to be back and sipping some midnight tea to watch my favorite stream. Awesome. Welcome back. The Empire is trying to unite to fight the Thalmor. Yeah, that's just the thing. Like, if you have a problem with Imperials and with Stormcloaks, the Thalmor aren't exactly a good alternative. Mm-hmm. Yeah. As said, basically, both Imperials and Stormcloaks fuck them. I donate for one main reason, ad block absolution. Well, you can always go for YouTube Premium. Then you're supporting creators and you get no ads. Would I do that myself? No. Would I expect anyone to do it? No. I'm just saying, it's technically an option. Thanks, Jake from State Farm. Independent Skyrim only helps the Thalmor. The God's damn Thalmor. I think it's funny the Argonians pushed the Daedra back into oblivion and invaded them in turn. Well, the Argonians are badass. What can you do? People talk shit about premium, but then they pay for Hulu or whatever other streaming device. That's true. I think it's just that the difference is simply in order to get access to that at all, you have to pay. With YouTube, it's just you can watch it anyway. It's just it's optional. So that's why people are generally not doing it, even though they're perfectly willing to pay for Netflix and stuff. Skyrim Dawnguard or Vampire Clan. Since I never played Dawnguard, I don't actually know. I don't actually know what the vampires do, what their agenda is. I'm generally not really in favor of vampire hunters, but it depends. YouTube should backtrack 10 years. 2011? The funny thing is, while kind of going through some older stuff in my video folder and deleting... Well, no, actually, I wasn't really deleting anything. Just checking, what's there again, and just kind of nostalgically looking at things, I guess. I found a video from 2012 where I actually ranted about the bad changes that YouTube made, algorithm changes, and how they fucked up the channel design, because you used to be able to actually do quite a bit with your channel. Like, you could have a background picture, stuff like that. And of course, back in the old days, there used to be ratings instead of just like and dislike. There used to be video responses. So many things that were actually really nice that they just scrapped. And they did that pretty early on, really. Have you heard of Project Zomboid? Yes, I've even made videos about it. Like kind of best off streams and such. Best year of the 21st century was 2019. Do you agree or disagree? I'm gonna have to disagree. Yeah, no, I think 2017 and 18 probably better. And then there's also everything before 2010. There's quite a lot to choose from. I don't know. In some lands, I'd argue 2020, if you're a hermit, is paradise. Kinda. I mean, I'm pretty introverted, and I'm not really one for being out in crowds and stuff. But even I was kind of bothered by it at some point. So it depends. But yeah, for some people, they probably really didn't mind. Thank you, Smig Games, Shad, Matt Easton, and Lindy Beige all seem to define poleaxes, lucerne hammers, back to Corban, and the like in slightly different ways. Any thoughts on how to classify them? I don't know how they classify them specifically, but that's a good question. I mean, You can definitely distinguish poleaxes and lucerne hammers and back to cobans. I think a lucerne hammer and back to coban is reasonably similar, but generally, I think poleaxes tend to be shorter than the other two. The other, like a poleaxe is almost. I almost hesitate a little bit to classify as a pole arm, because I generally think of pole arms as quite long. Poleaxes are not terribly long, but I mean, at the same time, what else would it be? It's not really just a two-handed axe. It's got, because it's got that multifunctional head with the blade and the spikes that is pretty common for pole arms, not really so much axes necessarily. But I have to say, I'm generally not big into classification. Like, I don't really care all that much. Also, if you think about the fact that back then they really didn't care. I mean, they didn't even distinguish really much between single-handed and two-handed swords. I mean, yeah, they did, but a lot of cases they just called it a sword. You know, they didn't classify as much as we do, and nowadays it's useful for better terminology to be able to distinguish between certain types so people know what the hell you're talking about. But at the same time, I'm not really for delving deep into all the little nuances of terminology. You know what I mean? You can overdo it, in my opinion. I think seeing your original sparring videos versus current shows how much you've dedicated and improved. Thank you for the inspiration. Well, you're welcome. Glad to know that you like it. I mean, I'm hoping to provide some more inspiration in the future, because I'm still struggling to get my shit together and beat the fucking food addiction once more. That should be inspiring if I finally pull it off. Thanks, Rogan2. I'm allergic to getting pulled by Urksaya. I know what you're referring to. It's not a fun thing to experience. Hope you're well and wish you the best. Happy Easter, by the way, if you're a Catholic or Protestant. I'm not, but thank you anyway, and happy Easter to you as well. Have you ever heard of the mod Endural? I'm not sure. No idea. You've done it before, you'll do it again. That's what I'm hoping, yeah. Except that I'm older now, and the older you get, the harder it is, but I gotta. Is you binging with sweets or salty snacks? Yes, among other things. Always the blue jays. They're so noisy. I mean, I like blue jays, but they're noisy. I believe in you. You got this, homie. You just gotta fight the demon. Thanks, Jude. It's so frustrating to keep failing over and over and over and over again. It's never taken this long. I've never had this many setbacks and regressions, and at some point you really start to ask yourself, can I really? But can't allow that kind of doubt. You just have to keep pushing forward and try again. Even if you try it for the 100th time, what's the alternative? Just give up and just, surrender to the addiction and just get like morbidly obese. That's not an option. And sickly and everything. Anyway. The whole food thing is really frustrating. I know your pain, currently at 146 kilograms. Never been that heavy. Yeah, I mean, it's of course even worse now. A lot of people had some pandemic guts. growing. I can't even really go for that excuse because it already started before then. You know, it already started to go downhill before. It got even worse during the pandemic, but yeah, that's not the cause in my case. Failure is part of recovery. Yeah, I know. I know, but it's still frustrating. Have you heard of Gregor Baki? Is it Baki Bachi? I don't. I think I've heard of him before, but I don't remember the details. Anyway, he was a knight who survived having his head impaled by a lance, much like Phineas Gage, who had a rod impale his head due to an accident from an explosion. No, I think I was probably thinking of another knight, another Gregor. Oh, Gregor of the Iron. No, wait, that was Guts. Now I'm just mixing all the names. Anyway, I haven't heard of that case in particular. Phineas Gage is the well-known case. All great feats come with many setbacks. I was going to offer my advice, but I know you don't need any. It's all about the willpower, and you know that too. Yeah, that's true. If it was just as simple as, okay, I just need to know how, I just need advice. I wish it was that simple, but I know the how, I've done it before, and that's not the problem. The problem is regaining control over my own behavior and beating the fucking addiction. Anyway, enough about that. It's just... I know I keep bringing it up, or at least replying to comments, or whatever the hell. Because it's just on my mind a lot. But it doesn't help. I shouldn't even be, ranting about it. Anyway, are you going to do more videos about flintlocks? I don't have anything planned currently. Maybe eventually, but anyway, thanks Rambam3000 and Titanium Toymaker. I'm wondering, I'm sure you know the Iron Golem from D&D. Without magic, how would one have to fight that one and win? Also, sorry for your troubled times. Thank you. You know what? That might be video material. I might, I think I'll put that on my to-do list for a video. How would you beat an Iron Golem? That actually sounds pretty cool. Thank you for the idea. How to fight an Iron Golem. Right now, what comes to mind, of course, is anything that works against armor. So, war hammers, things like that, pole arms. Every time somebody brings up Greg Doucette, I know like a lot of people say he knows his stuff and everything, but I just can't. I can't deal with his personality. He's too. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. I can't listen to him. It's too annoying. Nothing against him personally, but I can't do it. I can't listen to him. And again, that's not the problem anyway. I'm not lacking the know-how. I'm lacking the self-control. Any chance on a shuriken video? I did one way back in like 2014 or so, and I don't really see a particular reason to revisit it. Thanks, Lone Wolf. Since the Swiss longsword looks dodgy, what is your recommendation for a low-budget longsword? Anything good around or below $300? Do look up my mini-series on which sword should I buy. I think that's what it's in the title. Which sword should I buy? Because like it's a 3-part, 3 videos, and it's nothing but recommendations. So specific recommendations in certain price ranges. So that should really help you. Going on assumption of golem not mechanical. I'll likely need to jam their joints or make the golem unable to act at minimum. Yeah. I also have to look at the actual golem designs in AD&D. Oh my goodness, AD&D. This is like D&D if I play it. You play D&D with ADD, then it's AD&D. I kind of like that, actually. What was that? What you want from me, phone? Okay. Well, looks like I'm gonna have to wrap this up. Yes, yes, I know. I know. So I'll take this one. Thank you, Frank Knox. Fighting an iron golem would be like fighting the Terminator. Yeah, probably. Not fun times, I would assume. Yeah, anyway, I just got an update about an appointment, so I'm just going to have to go. Leave you guys alone. So thanks for showing up. Hope you had fun. Thanks for the super chats. And happy Easter. See you next time.